Okay. Okay. Oh, it's rolling already.
It's rolling already.
Okay. Ready. Welcome to.
Okay, with Kurt Davidsen.
Yeah. Welcome to Okay with Kurt Davidsen. Okay?
Okay.
We are here on our second show. And we have our guest today is Jenn De La Torre. I actually know you for what? Almost 7 years. Yes. You used to come to Kenny's show. In the first year he had the show, you were singing because I was watching something I had on my TV, and I was not watching it on purpose. It just happened to be there, and you were on it, and I said, wow, I don't remember her being on Kenny's show at that time. Yeah, but you were there. You were singing with Goddard, what's her name? Crystal, yeah. And the thing about Crystal, she was wearing a very open dress.
You remember that?
No, I just saw it. Less than about, and it was by accident. I had it on my computer, and I didn't know I had it.
Oh,
and
really?
I said, "What in the world is that?" I clicked on it, and here I saw there were several things. But that day was you and Goddard.
That was when Kenny used to have 2 guests. Remember that?
No, I don't remember.
Remember there was a period of time where he had 2 guests instead of 1?
Yeah.
I think he only did it for maybe a little less than a year.
Yeah.
But I remember that year he had asked me and Crystal to do it. And
Yeah,
yes,
right.
I remember.
Yeah, right. And,
I remember the outfit very well.
yeah, and then
And that's when we were in the T-Bird Lounge.
T-Bird Lounge, yes. It was before they decided to bring in the Rat Pack,
Yeah.
as they have right now.
And then Crystal and I were both working at Don't Tell Mama at the time. Kenny helped us get a job
Oh.
at Don't Tell Mama.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
About 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Something like that.
But anyway, so you were singing there with her and for a while, and then you disappeared.
Then I disappeared.
Yes, and you went away. Where did you go?
I went to work for Princess Cruises for 6 months.
Was that your first time with them, or was it the second time?
I think that year you're talking about was my second year going out. I was off and on going out to sea for about 6 years. I think that was something like my second or third year back from the ship.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And whenever I came home, Kenny would ask me to host a show, and then I would work at Don't Tell Mama.
Right.
Ming and Joanna were nice enough to take me back,
Yeah.
so I could work whenever
Yeah.
I was on break at home.
That
So
was-
that's
yeah.
what I was doing off and on. But now I'm permanently home.
Oh, yeah, but I was actually very surprised when I find that you either went away for half a year or for a whole year.
At first, it started out only half a year, but then gradually each year my contracts became longer.
Right.
7 months, 9. I think this last one was 9 months or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, in
And
Australia
so-
and Asia.
So you traveled around the world, or did you just travel to certain American cities?
All around the world. Every year I went somewhere different.
Oh,
I
yeah?
started off on the Pacific coast,
Yeah.
Alaska, Hawaii, and then from there I went to the Caribbean the following year. I went to the Baltics, the following year.
You went to the Baltics.
Yes.
Wow.
I went to Denmark, where you're from.
Sure were, yeah,
I
exactly.
went to Copenhagen.
Yes.
One of my favorites.
Yeah, and also you went to St. Petersburg in Russia.
St. Petersburg, Russia.
Helsinki.
Oslo.
Oslo is in Norway, yeah.
Mhm.
You know, but the Baltic Sea goes in, and that is we have Germany, Poland, and then Estonia, Latvia, and the other third, I can never remember these three. They actually used to belong to Denmark, you know, but that's a long story. You know, and you know, and you have St. Petersburg, and you have Helsinki.
Yes.
And Stockholm.
Yes.
Oh wow, yeah, you saw them all.
One of my favorites.
Yes, Stockholm. What was so good about Stockholm?
The ABBA Museum. No.
Did they have an ABBA museum?
Yeah.
Right, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was quite impressive.
Well, you have to understand something, and this is a very, not nice for me, but you see, I'm married to Rita, and she's an opera singer, and we only concentrated about that kind of music. Never listened to any other kind of music, strictly opera music, and we went to the operas in New York, concerts in New York, but we were strictly opera. In the meantime, the group, ABBA, came and ended, and I didn't even know they existed until...
They were the first winners of the Eurovision competition, right? I
Yes,
didn't even know about Eurovision until recently.
It's called it is Eurovision.
I always thought American Idol was the first ever singing competition.
No.
But no, it was Eurovision.
Oh, that one has been on for years since I was
Celine
since
Dion
television
was on it.
Yes, since television started in Europe.
Yeah.
They had it wasn't called Eurovision. It was called something else. I can't remember.
At the time.
Yeah. Yes, we never had a Danish winner. But we had an Italian winner. I remember he sang Volare. Remember that one? That was one of the first. Yeah, that's right.
Oh.
That was one of the very first songs that won. But it wasn't called Eurovision. Maybe they changed it later. You know.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. No, I actually I was in London in 1967. And I won some money in a casino, and everybody that was at the table, I invited them to a nightclub, which I knew because I used to live in London. I lived in London in 1961, and I took them to this nightclub. And in the nightclub, I'm sitting talking to 4 people, but we were listening to a girl who had won the Eurovision.
Oh.
And she sang a song called something with a dog. A dog in a string. A dog in a string.
Okay.
That was the name of the. And I sat and I talked to 4 guys that were sitting here.
Okay.
She finished singing. The 4 guys stood up and they shook my hands, left, and the whole entire nightclub bombarded me. Do you know who you were talking to? She says, no.
No.
Who was I talking to? The Beatles. Who are they? That was my question.
You're lying.
No, it's
You're
the truth.
lying.
I did not know
Who the Beatles were at
No.
the time.
It was not my kind of music. I never watched television. Ed Sullivan, never watched it. You know.
Wow.
No, I watched it later, you know, because there were often opera singers on the show. But no, I did not know. I did not know. I didn't know that I was sitting speaking to Paul McCartney, and then I shook hands with all of them, and we talked for a short while, and they left the nightclub. You know.
You're kidding.
Yes, that was a big thing. I remember I returned to the United States. And I had a person working for me, and he lived in Connecticut, in Darien, Connecticut. And so I went up, I was invited one Sunday to come to them for dinner. And it was a 3-story building, very narrow, but 3-story building. And I told this story to the people that were there. 3 seconds later, 4 kids was coming, running down the stairs, and walked up to me and said, "Did you wash your hand? Did you wash your hand?" You know, they were so fascinated with the mere fact that I met the Beatles. You know, yeah, they were absolutely. It was actually funny, you know. It really was.
No,
funny.
that's funny.
Yeah, no, it is. You know, but anyway, that was. But it's not called Eurovision. Why can I not remember it? Because we went to it. I went to it every year, and it was actually very nice because they had each country were having a singer, and they were represented, and then they voted something, and then there were less, and then it was less again, and it came down to about 4 people, you know, and then the winner was chosen by the 4 people. But that was not Simon Cowell. It was not, you know.
I had never heard of Eurovision until I started traveling.
No.
I had never heard of it.
I don't know why.
I got to meet people from all over the world.
But it was very
and
nice.
they're talking about this singing competition called Eurovision. I was like, oh, you mean like an American Idol? Yeah, but this is the first. This was before American Idol.
Why
Been
could-
around for years.
I could tell you.
And I didn't know that
Yeah.
ABBA until I went to the museum that they were the first ever winners of the competition for Waterloo.
Yeah, but that was not when. When did they start out?
I had to be in the 70s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that fit, but it was.
I don't remember.
But no, the Eurovision started as far way back as 1957, 58, 59.
Then maybe I'm wrong. Then
Yeah,
no way were they the first winners. then.
Yes, yeah, maybe the first Swedish
Yes.
to win.
Yes.
Because Denmark never had a winner. Norway never had a winner. Oh, but you have to understand, I left Europe in '63, so they have had a lot of these shows, you know, and they still have them every year. And this girl who sang this song, "A Doggy and a String," you know, I remember it distinctly because I was sitting there listening to them, but not listening because I was talking to this person here, you know. But I never knew ABBA before I went to Don't Tell Mama in New York.
Okay.
When Kenny had just started singing there. We went there one Friday night, and there was a person there singing "Son of a Preacher Man." That was all of the song, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and there was also a girl singing another ABBA song.
Okay.
And I thought, fantastic music, loved it, but had no idea what it was. You see, that's how ignorant I am as far as, but you know.
No.
Now I know everything about it.
I wouldn't say you're ignorant. It was just you just weren't listening to that music.
No, we were not listening to it. You know, I mean, we went to operas in New York. We never listened to modern that kind of music. Oh, actually, Kenny got us involved in it.
Of course.
Oh, yeah. But when you were traveling on those ocean liners, right?
Yeah.
You know, what did we have? I've only been on one cruise in my life.
Which one?
No, we went, Rita and her brother and his wife and me. We went on a cruise where we visit only the islands in the Caribbean
Oh, okay.
who had gambling.
Interesting.
Well,
Okay.
Don't forget, we have Atlantic City, but you know, I can't remember if we had Atlantic City at that time. So we went on a cruise where we visited all the different islands that had gambling. You know, that was the only one we had, and we went to one Sunday an afternoon where they had a contest of singers.
Oh.
And it was at the aft of the cruise. It was a big room with windows in the back, and it was at the aft of the cruise. And there was a contest, and guess who won?
Rita.
Yes.
Yeah, of course she did.
Yes, she won. I can't remember what she sang, but she won. But so, what do you do there? You know.
I was part of the actual stage productions in a theater.
Yeah.
inside the vessel.
Yeah.
So I was in production shows that were created by the cruise line.
Yeah.
They're not from anywhere else. They're 30-minute shows because nobody wants to sit like in New York or in Vegas. You know, shows are typically a little bit longer, but on the cruise ships, they just want to be entertained for 30 minutes and then go back to the buffet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I had to learn 4 to 5 different shows, about 30 minutes long.
Yeah.
And each night we would perform a different show just to create that variety of entertainment. And they were full productions, like Broadway style. Because that was initially my dream. I wanted to be, in high school, I wanted to be on Broadway. That was like the main goal. I wanted to be on Broadway. But I got introduced to cruise ships because that's where a lot of professionals I saw were starting out, and I wanted to be involved. I thought that would help me like open the door to maybe move to New York after and go out for Broadway. But being at sea, I kind of filled that empty hole for me. I felt like I was on Broadway in the middle of the ocean.
Why not? Yes.
Yeah, you know, I felt.
But you said that they had a whole production. Would they take a part of
Several productions.
The complete show?
So we had
they're only 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm. So
So
we had.
they'll condense it?
Yeah, they would be condensed to 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And like they used to be longer. They used to be about 45 minutes, but they shortened them because cruise ship passengers, they don't want to sit around and watch a show for too long. They want to go enjoy the vessel and
So
participate in other
name a few of the ones that you did.
I did a show called Fantastic Journey, which was designed for the Asia market.
Yeah.
So the company did a lot of research on the type of music and songs that the Chinese, particularly the Chinese market, because they were Chinese charter cruises.
Yeah, right. Okay.
So they found out that Chinese liked James Bond, so we incorporated a number with James Bond. They're very into technology, so we created a number to, I think it was a Taylor Swift song, she's popular right now, and then we created a number with cellular phones as props and like dancing emojis. You know what an emoji is?
No.
Those little characters. Do you text?
No.
Do you?
No,
They're little characters that you can text. It just kind of like describe your mood, like a smiley face or a heart.
Oh yeah, right.
So there was a number that we called emojis.
Yeah.
We found out that they were really into Lady Gaga, so we created a medley around Lady Gaga. So that was quite special to be a part of. And we had LED backdrops and moving panels. It was quite incredible.
But when you on a ship for 6 months, right? I mean, you got to different ports, and you probably got new customers at some of the ports, but
the
not
same one. Yeah, the same route every.
Right.
7 to 10 days.
So you would have a different show every night.
Yes.
Yeah, and you would all be performing at the same people, you know, because I heard the following, that they would go to a port, and then you would get off and be flown to another city, also at the Princess Line or a cruise line.
I think you're talking about the fly-on, fly-off guest entertainers.
Okay.
I was a resident entertainer where I actually lived on board.
Yes.
But you and me know a lot of people that do like the fly-on guest.
Yeah, because I
know so many, but I can't name one off the top of my head right now.
No, Dennis Blair.
Dennis Blair, exactly.
We
Dennis, we love you, Dennis.
You were telling me. You were telling me that they got into a port, and then they would be shipped off on a plane. They would fly to another port, meet up with another ship, and then they'll be entertaining on that ship, right?
Yeah,
But you didn't do that.
They call those guest contracts.
Oh, okay.
It's sort of a way to make the guests feel like we have a special guest flying in all the way from Las Vegas. I mean,
yeah. Well, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what
and
you
then
do.
while me, I was a part of the actual resident ensemble where I slept, ate for 6 months on the ship.
It was like your own home. Did you have a nice
That was my
room?
home. I did actually. It wasn't that bad at all. I had my own room.
Right.
I had 2 little portholes so I could,
Look out.
so you know,
Yeah.
so I could at least like have some natural sunlight come in.
Was it close to the water line?
Yeah, deck
Yeah.
4. I was right above the water. I
Yeah.
was right above the water line.
Yeah.
I had my own little cabin steward who would turn over my bed every day. It
Yeah.
wasn't bad at all.
Okay.
It wasn't bad at all.
Well, we, as I told you about the trip we went on, we were in this very small room. If you had to take a shower and you had to wash your front, you walk in, but then you go out and turn around and back into the shower to wash your back. You know, but you know, my question was that you had a nice room. You know, was it big or small or tiny? Like the one we were on was tiny. Trust me.
Mine was pretty tiny too, but I don't know, I got used to it. I mean, I was fortunate enough that I got my own. Depending on your position on board, a lot of people share.
Yeah, but other
Yeah,
people, yeah.
like
right.
some like the dining staff,
Yeah.
like the dining staff, like from the Philippines and India, they were down in deck 2, and that was like 4 people to a cabin. I never
Really?
made it down to deck 2,
No.
but yeah, up to 4 in one cabin. But mine was tiny. I remember to shave my legs, I would have to. My toilet was right next to my shower. I would prop my leg on the toilet seat just so I could shave my legs.
What?
You make it work, Kurt. You make it work.
Well,
I did my laundry.
you do.
I'd wash my delicates, my unmentionables. I hand washed them in my sink.
Yeah.
I did my dishes in my bathroom sink. You know, you make it work.
Okay.
You make it work. And
But did they have
I
a
think
washing machine where you could go and wash your clothes in?
Mm-hmm, like
Also-
a community washing
Yeah,
machine.
of course.
If you were lucky that one wasn't being used.
And you didn't have to pay for it.
No, you didn't have to.
Now, anyway, so you mentioned that you have about 6 or 7 shows that you learn.
Yeah.
And you perform one of these shows each every night. Now, so you're on for 6 months,
Yeah.
right? So in 1 week you have already performed those shows.
Yeah.
So what happened? The next week you start from the top again?
You start all over again.
Yeah,
You do it again.
But you didn't learn new shows,
No.
no?
No. You learn them before you go on board. There's
Oh, you do that?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you learned them. Yeah, I thought you rehearsed on a ship.
No.
No?
We rehearsed in Los Angeles.
Oh, yeah.
And for about 5 weeks, and then they send you off.
So you perform those 5 shows every week for half a year?
Yeah.
Holy moly, that is unbelievable.
Yeah.
I thought.
I would get a night off. Like, there were some nights we would have at least one dark night
Right.
a week.
So I thought you were sort of a star. That you
I
would,
was a star.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, like you were on the stage by yourself, singing with an orchestra.
Oh
or
no!
whatever, you know.
With a whole group of singers and dancers.
Yeah.
Like a Broadway Vegas style show.
But didn't they have names or people like that on the ship?
Yeah, we did. The guest acts, kind of like our friend Dennis, and we know tons of other.
Yeah.
Why can't I think of any right now? All of them have their own guest acts.
They would not have a Celine Dion. They wouldn't have Jennifer Lopez and people like that.
No,
No.
they're too cool. They're too expensive.
Britney Spears, you know.
Oh, if only.
My thing is still going back to half a year doing the same shows because, of course, coming from New York, we have Broadway shows that have been on for years and years and years and years.
Yeah.
And, you know, I always thought about, God, if that was me, having to perform the same show every night for 6, well, we have Cats was probably the longest show ever in New York, and or also the ABBA, but that was called, it was a different show.
Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia, yeah, Mamma Mia. We saw that a couple of times. And thinking about doing that same thing every night? It must be monotonous. When you came
Sometimes.
home, when you came home from doing that, right?
Mhm.
How did you feel when you came home and you were not singing the same stuff every night? You know, you were doing nothing, right?
You know, the travel, Kurt, makes it all worth it. Like never ever did I think I was ever gonna make it to Iceland, Australia, Asia. So I recommend that any young performer should go out on a cruise ship before they pursue their professional career on land.
Actually, it's a very good idea.
So many entertainers in
Yeah.
Las Vegas that I admire
Right.
very much. Ashley Fuller, M. Martinez, Savannah Smith, all started off on cruise ships.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, you know.
Now you are now at the link, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you have a band.
Yeah.
So you have what? 3 or 4
Four.
musicians?
4
And
musicians.
you're the only singer?
No, me and
you're-
Justin
You
Rodriguez.
and Justin.
Yeah.
You're both singing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, but you're in a casino.
We're in the casino.
Don't you have to be a union?
No, I never thought about it. It was like there's a musicians union, but I
Yes.
don't.
Oh, there definitely
and
is a
then-
musicians union. Yes.
And then we have some. It's called the Actors Equity,
Yes. Yeah, I know. I
the
know.
Performers Union.
Yeah.
We have some equity performers here in Las Vegas, but for most of us, it's not really necessary.
So you mean if somebody
We're
puts
so
a-
small.
put a big show on in the
Yeah.
casino, like whatever it is, I can't remember because they haven't really had it for a while. So they are not in a union. None of them, not even the musicians. The musicians, how can they play in the casino without being in a union? I always
I think
wanted to know that. I know, but I never.
I know that's such a good question because I'm not a musician, so I don't really know. I guess if they're not, it's because they don't. Maybe the dues are too high or something. Maybe they don't want to pay any
Well,
kind of union,
you know,
any kind of union
Well,
dues.
when I was a young man
They'd rather just.
in New York City,
Mhm.
I always had friends and they were always complaining that they couldn't get a job because they were not in the union. And they couldn't get into the union
Mhm.
unless they had a job. Double negative, right? You could never,
I know.
You could never work. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the same. I wanted to be part of the actors union, but
Yes.
I had to have a job in order to be in the union.
Yeah. Well, I always, one of these days I'll find something.
But I couldn't be in the union. Yeah, but I couldn't have a job without being in the union. So it was very frustrating.
Right.
And I think that was another reason that kind of held me back. I'm like, gosh, I don't have to be part of any union to be on the cruise ships. You know,
Well, see,
I
that-
get
and
to
that-
perform.
That was going to be my next question.
Yeah,
So
I
you
get
didn't
to-
have to do that either. Right?
No, and I didn't need an agent either. Some of us had agents.
Yeah.
I think for Americans it was a lot easier, but I know the Brits, most of them had agents. I worked with a lot of Brits and Australians
I know
that
for
went
sure.
that went through an agent,
Yeah.
and they were like, "Do you have an agent, Jen?" I'm like, "No,
No?
no, I got
Yeah.
the job on my own." So
No, you're better off. Yeah,
I think that's why-
You don't have to pay that 30%.
exactly.
If that's what they're charging. Anyway, it was very nice talking to you.
Thank you
know?
for having
And, yeah,
me.
it was wonderful, and I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed that
Okay,
too.
welcome to. I want to thank you to be on Kurt Davidsen, okay. Okay, Kurt Davidsen, okay.
Okay, Kurt Davidsen.
Okay.
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 With Kurt Davidsen.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Anyway, it
That was
nice.
great.
It was nice, yes.
We talked about a lot.
Yes.
A lot of interesting stuff.
Yes.
Da